At the beginning of the scene, Hikari was chatting with her mother, whose words seemed to be making Hikari hold back her anger. She whispered something to Hikari, leaving her stunned. Today, Rentaro and his 5 girlfriends visited the Rabuzano flower garden together. According to Nano, it's an efficient place to see a variety of flowers. Kusuri was also delighted as she could gather all the nectar needed to create a new medicine. Shizuka felt the scenery here resembled the views often seen by nobility. Rentaro thanked Hikari for recommending this place, saying it was a perfect spot for a date. He had wanted to come here with her for a long time. Today, the flower garden was about to host a bouquet tossing event. This bouquet toss was a signature event in the garden. Whoever caught the bouquet would get the chance to take photos in a wedding dress, adorned with flowers, alongside their partner. Rentaro was eager to participate in this event, as were the others. Wearing a wedding dress had always been Hikari's dream since she was a child, the romantic scene she had always yearned for. She was determined to make her dream come true no matter what. They joined the crowd gathering for the event. Many were interested in participating. Suddenly, a muscular girl shouted, rallying her crew to win the bouquet toss. They were the Gorira Alliance, a motorcycle gang formed in the early 21st century. Hikari believed it wasn't the right time for all of Rentaro's girlfriends to compete against each other. She suggested they collaborate, and the winner of the photo session would be decided by drawing lots. Everyone agreed. The Gorira Alliance cheered and raised banners to support their race. Seeing their opponent's enthusiasm and their imposing stature, Rentaro became concerned about Shizuka. He asked her to simply cheer him on. Kusuri enlarged her body by taking a growth potion, ensuring there would be no obstacles. Rentaro made a banner out of a towel and wrote on it with a permanent marker. It seemed he had been carrying it for a while. The banner read, Rentaro Family. They all admired Rentaro for his romantic gesture. The Rentaro family team started with a group cheer and words of encouragement. Shizuka held her banner, looking adorable. Before the event began, the host announced the rules. Participants were prohibited from using violence during the bouquet toss. The one tossing the bouquet was a former Japanese national champion in shot put, a former female athlete whose throwing speed exceeded the speed of sound. She was Baba-An, the vice principal's mother. Baba-An merely said, "May it pierce the atmosphere, bringing joy to no one." The bouquet toss began, with Baba-An throwing it with all her might. The bouquet soared high, making it hard to catch. Everyone ran and struggled to grab it. Suddenly, Rentaro noticed members of the Gorira Alliance pushing other participants. Such violent behavior should have been prohibited. It turned out the Gorira leader was using his members to knock down other participants. According to the Gorira leader, this wasn't breaking any rules as it was seen as teamwork rather than violence against other participants. The Gorira leader continued swinging his members to take down competitors. Hikari almost got hit by a Gorira member, but luckily, Kurane swiftly caught the person. Furious at the Gorira's actions, Kurane wore their uniform jacket and confronted what they deemed as a practice. She attacked the Gorira leader. Impressed by Kurane's strength, the Gorira leader praised her. While Kurane kept the Gorira at bay, she urged the others to go for the bouquet that was about to land. Rentaro dashed towards the bouquet, but 3 Gorira members waved their banners, causing a strong gust of wind that blew the bouquet towards the Gorira Alliance. As Rentaro tried to retrieve the bouquet, he noticed Shizuka, holding a banner, floating in the air like a parachute. Before the event started, Shizuka had stood beside the Gorira cheer squad. The powerful wind gusts from their energetic cheers combined with her lightweight body made her float, resembling a flower fairy to onlookers. Now was the time for victory. Shizuka caught the bouquet with both hands, causing her parachute-like descent to stop when she released her towel. Hikari, Nano, and Kusuri prepared to catch her. Nano directed them to where Shizuka would land. Rentaro tried to stop them, fearing they might get hurt. Standing close together, their ample chests made Shizuka bounce upon impact. She was about to fall due to the rebound, but Rentaro swiftly caught her. Shizuka landed safely, tears streaming down her face as she hugged Rentaro. Kurane extended her hand, thanking the Gorira leader for their fight. The Gorira leader was touched, believing Kurane wanted to be friends. Kurane was truly grateful as the guerrilla leader's intervention prevented her from being among those with a broad chest, which would have resulted in a rough landing for Shizuka. The bouquet toss competition ended, and the winner was the Rentaro family. Now it was time to decide who would take a photo with Rentaro. Coincidentally, Hikari had brought chopsticks wrapped in 5 packages so everyone could play a fair game. Whoever got the red chopstick was the winner. Hikari had actually planned it all. She knew how tough the competition was and that she couldn't win without everyone's help. She had suggested the draw method before the game started. Her best strategy was marking the red chopstick package with a small cut. Of course, as she drew it first, they would become suspicious of her. So, she let one of them pick first, and then she'd have her turn. The person she chose to draw first was Nano. Hikari believed Nano prioritized efficiency, so she would likely choose the nearest chopstick without hesitation. By shuffling the red chopstick package as far away from Nano as possible, Hikari was sure she wouldn't pick it. However, Nano suggested they draw together, claiming it would be more efficient. Hikari's calculations were way off, and Nano's efficiency surpassed her strategy. Yet, Hikari still managed to win the draw, getting the red chopstick she had marked earlier. She was thrilled as her dream was about to come true. Suddenly, Kusuri began to cry. She really wanted to take a photo in a flowery dress with Rentaro. Rentaro reassured Kusuri, saying they would come back next month. But Kusuri refused. She wouldn't leave until she had a photo taken with Rentaro in a bridal gown. Hikari realized someone else deserved this opportunity more than her. This would be an invaluable memory for both Kusuri and Rentaro. Reluctantly, Hikari gave up her chance to Kusuri, who was so eager for it. Kurane couldn't believe what Hikari had done. Kusuri was deeply grateful and hugged Hikari. However, Kusuri declined the opportunity Hikari had given her, saying she also loved both Rentaro and Hikari. Kusuri would be happy just seeing 2 people who loved each other take a photo together. She apologized for being selfish. Hikari and Rentaro changed into bridal attire and prepared for the photo shoot. Hikari invited everyone to take photos together. They posed for pictures and waited for them to be printed. After the photo session, Hikari thanked Rentaro, expressing that this had been her dream for a long time. She cherished the moment of being photographed with the person she loved while wearing a bridal gown. Hikari shared that since meeting Rentaro, every moment had been filled with happiness, feeling almost dreamlike. Rentaro echoed her sentiments, expressing his immense joy and gratitude towards Hikari. Then, Hikari made one more request to Rentaro. He was willing to listen to any request she had. Unexpectedly, Hikari's plea was for Rentaro to break up with her. In the dressing room, Rentaro pondered over Hikari's request, unable to comprehend the reason behind her sudden decision. He felt the need to have a serious conversation with Hikari to understand the real motive. Emerging from the dressing room, Rentaro searched for Hikari. An attendant informed him that Hikari had mentioned having an urgent matter and had left immediately after her photo was taken. Concerned, Rentaro relayed this to the others. Everyone speculated that something must have happened to Hikari. Rentaro tried calling her to ensure she was all right before alerting everyone else. However, Hikari didn't answer his call. Left with no choice, Rentaro decided to visit Hikari's address, which he found written on the back of an envelope containing a recent provocative photo she had sent him. Arriving at Hikari's residence, Rentaro was greeted by a grand, luxurious house complete with a pond and fountain. Spotting Hikari at her bedroom window, he waved and called out to her. Startled, Hikari gestured for Rentaro to crouch down. Shortly after, a security guard approached to assess the situation. Unaware of Rentaro's presence as he hid behind the gate, the guard moved on. Rentaro received a call from an unfamiliar number, which turned out to be Hikari using her home phone. Anxiously, he asked why she had asked to end their relationship without providing any reasons, especially when he deeply loved her. Hikari replied that she was simply tired of him and urged Rentaro to accept it and move on. Rentaro sensed Hikari's dishonesty in that moment. He threatened not to return until Hikari revealed the truth. Eventually, Hikari confessed the real reason. Hikari's mother knew everything about Hikari's relationship with Rentaro and the others. Hikari shared with her mother Rentaro's sincerity and all the joy they had experienced together. However, Hikari's phone was confiscated, and her mother had already arranged for her to transfer schools. Her mother could do anything with her power and money. Even if by some miracle Rentaro and Hikari managed to reunite, she would surely separate them again. The days they spent together would never be repeated. Hikari's mother was behind her, seizing her phone. Her mother's voice came through the phone, instructing Rentaro not to see Hikari again and even threatening him. Rentaro shouted, pleading to speak with Hikari's mother, but the house security detained him, stating that Hikari's mother had forbidden him from entering the premises. In this world, many forces were insurmountable, especially for a young boy like Rentaro. Hikari begged her mother for forgiveness, promising not to hurt Rentaro. She pledged to obey her mother's orders and stay away from Rentaro. Rentaro felt frustrated, realizing his powerlessness and lack of resources. He gazed at a four-leaf clover, reminiscent of his time with Hikari. That night, he shared Hikari's ordeal with others. He even planned to temporarily take Hikari away and ask the others to wait for them in the future. However, their response was unexpected. They wanted to accompany him to fetch Hikari. Just like Rentaro, they all cared deeply for Hikari.